your vampire ability be?
You know, I'd be one of those vampires who didn't have one. That would so be who I would be. There'd be all these other, like everyone I knew would be able to do some really cool thing, and I'd be like, well, I can run fast. You know, I'm strong. And I wouldn't have anything. So that would be the story of my life.
How did music influence your writing, Stephenie, and how would the books be different without it?
Well, you know, the music is always really important. I think maybe the books would be different in that they wouldn't be written if I didn't have music to keep me going. I can't concentrate unless I've got something really loud in the background. And I do think that some of the emotions in the book would be different if I wasn't feeling them because I'm listening to Marjorie Fair and I want to shoot myself, and so I'm able to translate that into somebody else's pain. And you know, or Linkin Park, and I can get the feeling right for the action and get the pacing right. So there wouldn't be books without music. That's how they'd be different. Candace in Sydney wants to know if you would prefer to hang out with Edward Cullen or Cedric Diggory for the day.
Probably Edward Cullen.
I mean, part of the question is Cedric dead in this scenario?
That's another good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it was Cedric dead, I'd probably want to hang out with him. No, yeah, definitely Edward, you know. Got some questions.
What is the one thing you cannot live without?
I'm just going to give like totally frivolous answers for all of these. My cat. I love him. I would die if I had to live without him.
Doesn't sound frivolous.
Cats die.
It's not. Cool. I know cats die, but
you only have a few years left. Cats don't even live very long.
Nice.